Why am I so obsessed with you if you're not that pretty? You don't have an amazing body, and it's not like our conversations are the most interesting either. Objectively, you're nothing extraordinary. But I just can't leave you. I feel the need to be with you. Why?
Because you said it yourself. I don't check off the list of the perfect woman. I'm not the prettiest, the smartest, or the one with the best body. No, I'm not. I'm not the most successful either. And sure, I'd love to be beautiful, have an incredible body, and make a ton of money, but that's not what creates psychological obsession. What makes a man, or anyone, obsessed, what makes you want to see me again and again and again, isn't me. It's not the love you say you feel for me. It's how you feel when you're with me. That's what keeps pulling you back. Let me explain to you why this happens. You're a closed-off, distant, and guarded person. You keep your armor up. But with me, you can open up. You trust me with what's on your mind, with your worries. For a little while, you take off that armor, and you're vulnerable, affectionate, sometimes even cheesy, and you love feeling that way. You're in love with how you feel and who you become when you're with me. When I'm not around, you don't necessarily miss me, but you need to see me. You crave another dose of me, because you want to feel that way again. Women like me are hard to leave, not because we're trophies or dolls, but because of the way we make people feel when they're with us. And this is gonna hurt, but you started this. Matthew Hussey, who's probably the top coach in the world when it comes to helping women get the man they want, says, play with his masculinity. If he feels like a man when he's with you, he'll want to be around you more. Because not everyone makes him feel that way. Most of the time, he doesn't. It's not that I can't change a tire. I've been doing it since I was 14. But I ask for your help, so you can step into that masculine role. It's not that I can't pay for my food. I let you pay. I let you pull out my chair. I let you choose the meal while I relax, to show you that I trust you, so you feel like a man. Because not everyone makes you feel that way. You feel that way with me, because I make you feel that way.
Most people don't get that attraction is relative. If you put Clara and Diana side by side and ask who's prettier, everyone says Clara. But somehow Diana is always surrounded by suitors while Clara couldn't attract a fly. And even though Clara is the prettier one, it makes no sense that she has no admirers. Once you understand how attraction is relative and how Diana takes advantage of this relativity to her benefit, and how Clara, without meaning to, uses it against herself, once you see it, it becomes obvious why Diana is so successful. Let's take a look at the science of relativity. So, what exactly is each of them doing? Just like Clara is prettier than Diana, but Diana is the one with admirers. It's the same with Abel's hot dogs being better than Cain's, yet Cain is the one getting all the customers. Cain uses relativity to psychologically manipulate his customers. He tricks them. Look, here's a picture of Abel's hot dog stand and here's Cain's. It looks like Cain's sausages are way bigger than Abel's, right? But in reality, they're the same size. What Cain does is use a smaller bun to make his sausage look bigger. And that's how he makes his customers believe they're getting more when they're actually getting less. Let me show you visually how this works. Which of these two circles is bigger? 9 out of 10 kids say the one on top, because when you put it among smaller circles, it looks bigger. And when you put it among bigger circles, it looks smaller. Even though, obviously, it's a trick and they're the same size. Nothing is absolute. Everything is relative. Clara is prettier than Diana, but even though she's objectively beautiful, she's the least attractive among her sisters. And on top of that, she goes to a school full of rich, stuck-up kids where almost all her classmates are even prettier than she is. Diana, on the other hand, is the prettiest in her family and goes to a public school where she's one of the most beautiful girls. So, within her circle, Clara is the ugly one. And within her circle, Diana is the pretty one. And nobody wants to date the ugly girl, while everyone wants to date the pretty one. Attraction is relative. So, if you want to date like Diana, take your ugly friends with you to parties. Here are 3 ways to lie by telling the truth. The first one is easy, the second is so-so, and the third is hard to pull off. What I'm about to show you is wrong. This is just so you can recognize it and avoid being taken advantage of. It's not so you can use it yourself. Number 1. The easiest and most common way to deceive someone while telling the truth is by using causality. You say 2 true things that seem connected, but they're not. For example, I say, I have to go. I have to take a call. And you think, He has to leave because he has to take a call. You assume the reason I'm leaving is the call, but I never said that. The real reason I'm leaving is because I'm bored of you, and at some point later, I'll need to take a call. I didn't lie. Well, I did, but I lied by telling the truth. Here's another example. Your girlfriend tells you she needs some time. That's true. She also says she wants to focus on her life. That's also true. But you go home thinking she wants to break up because she wants to focus on her life, when in reality she doesn't want to break up because of that. She likes someone else and wants to focus on her life. She tricked you, making you believe a lie by telling you two things that are true. Number 2. This one's a bit harder. It involves telling truth after truth after truth to build a lie in someone's mind. Using truth bricks, you construct something false. A friend of mine used to tell a joke that perfectly illustrates this. When people asked him how he got somewhere, he'd say, "The chauffeur in the Mercedes brought me." Naturally, everyone pictured a private driver in a luxury car. But the truth was, he had taken public transportation. What he said was technically true. Buses in Mexico are Mercedes. And of course, they're driven by a chauffeur. But by telling the truth, he planted the wrong image in your head. Number 3. Let's see if you'd fall for this one. You're about to buy circus tickets for $100 when a vendor comes up to you and says, No, don't buy them for $100. I have them 20% cheaper. You're about to go with him when another vendor grabs your arm and says, Wait, 20%? You're still paying 25% more than what I'm charging. So, you decide to go with the second vendor. He tricked you by telling the truth. He made you believe his tickets were cheaper when, in reality, they're the same price. Because $100 minus 20% is $80, and $80 plus 25% of $80 is $100. Now, here's a graph. The turning point in my life happened when I was 33 years old. That's when things started to improve because I began focusing on my habits. This was after I read Atomic Habits, and it makes me mad I didn't read it earlier. People who read it before they're 30 have such an advantage. You're beautiful, smart, funny, loving, sweet. You're amazing. And if you're still struggling in love, then this is almost definitely what you're doing wrong. You're like Harvard University. When people look at Harvard grads and see that they're presidents, Obama, Bush, Roosevelt, or that they invented Microsoft and Facebook, or that they're NASA scientists, or just generally killing it in life, everyone wrongly assumes it must be because of Harvard. They think Harvard has some secret formula to turn you into someone incredible. But they're wrong. Harvard's secret isn't in its education. It's in who they let in. It's like if I grab the 11 best soccer players in the world, and you have to build a team with your neighbors, and I beat you 30-0, and people say it's because I'm a great coach. No, it's because I have the best players. The secret of Harvard isn't what they teach. It's who they admit. Since it's the top school, all the geniuses want to go there. Tons of applicants. And who do they accept? Only the most brilliant. People who've already achieved a ton, who've already shown leadership and social skills. They're basically admitting Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. So of course they shine when they graduate. They were already stars going in. Harvard doesn't turn donkeys into geniuses or losers into winners. And that's what you're trying to do. You're sweet, kind, gorgeous, but you're letting the wrong people into your life. Your problem is that you think you can turn donkeys into geniuses, some useless guy into Prince Charming. But 99% of the work isn't on you. What you need to improve isn't the man. It's the man you choose. It's never too late, but I really recommend you read this book before you hit 30. It shows you how, with small changes to your habits, you can end up in a totally different place. It's called Atomic